Welcome, dear viewers, to a very special interview here on Hala Kuwait. We have with us today Hamza Taqi, a master performance consultant. Good evening, Hamza. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Good evening, my friend. The pleasure is all mine.
Thank you for being here. So today, dear viewers, we're going to ask Hamza a lot of questions here, all about well-being. What do you think about that, Hamza?
Well-being.
Yes.
Well-being is being, studied by scholars for thousands of years. It's not something new. But nowadays it became more surfacing with the social media and what have you. People are talking about well-being. So well-being is all about being well. So when you are well, be it physically, be it mentally and spiritually, and with your income. Okay. When you are well, that's well-being. Right. In a nutshell.
Even well-being involves being happy, right?
Yes, indeed. And we cannot be happy all the time. And that's the fact, or that's truth that we should embrace. And well-being help you to align your mind, your heart with your brain. So whenever you have an issue, obstacles, a challenge in life, or difficulties, you can face it with integrity, with calmness, and clearness and meaning, rather than reacting.
Yes, definitely. This is very deep for our dear viewers to understand this kind of concepts. So our dear viewers would also like to know, is this, does this include the mind, the brain, and the heart? And how can you battle all these tools that we have in our human body?
Yes. Basically, the mind function is to think, okay, and to look for dangers since aeons. And that triggers, thoughts that are mainly repeated thoughts or waste thought, we call them, or, negative thoughts that it keeps repeating based on history, based on our actions before. And those thoughts dictate our emotions, which is in the heart, the center of emotions. And the heart gives the instructions to the brain to perform its duty. They've always taught us in school that the brain is everything and the heart is only a pump. And now they discovered that the heart is more than a pump. Okay. Actually, the heart cannot pump all this blood all over our body. Yes. The brain is a processor. It listens to our emotions and obey our emotions and gives us the hormones or the chemicals, yes, that from the brain, whether it's if we are feeling emotionally stressed, we get cortisol and bad hormones. If we're happy, we get good hormones.
Definitely. Yes. And Hamza Taqi, I've learned from you before here on Hala Kuwait interviews that, yes, smiling triggers an endorphin in the brain.
Very true.
All right. So
and it does the face very well, because it moves all the muscles in the face, which is helpful.
That's really great to hear, yes, for us and our dear viewers. I'm sure you're enjoying this interview here with Hamza Taqi to learn all about the mind and the brain also. Therefore, Hamza, we want to ask you more about the heart and the brain. As you said, the brain gives instructions for the heart, and the heart gives in reverse for the brain.
Right.
What are practical methods that people can use? For example, is it cardio? Is it mental, practical thinking? How can people adjust this and improve it?
See, we have to separate, the brain is the organ that is in our head, and the thinking mind is like the software, we say. And I believe it's in the heart, or near the area of the heart. It affects the heart mainly, and the heart affects the brain. Okay. So what we should do is really, become the observers of the mind, rather than reacting to whatever the mind tell us, and see those thoughts as if they are a cloud in the sky. They're just passing by. We don't need to cling onto them and want it to, ask why this is happening, and you go into stories that are endless, and worrying about the future or regretting something you did in the past. you're wasting your time, you know, and you're not living actually. So you know, having some sort of maybe meditation, some sort of reflection, sometimes, you know, going inward and just, you know, observe your thoughts, and you will see, especially when we pray, we think a lot, and sometimes we calculate things. So it's better to be mindful. Actually, they say mindful, but I say clear your mind of the thoughts, or have good thoughts, you know, in your mind, and that's will make you feel internally strong and happy. And that will reflect on the outside, definitely. So if working on your internal rather than just looking at others and comparing and so on. Yeah.
Yes, Hamza, nice explanation there. As you said, you have to fix yourself and then fix others, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And therefore, we'd like to focus more on battling thoughts. Yeah. As you said, there are some practical methods that you have to battle your negative thoughts and turn them into positive, because this obviously affects your heart, and therefore your heart gets emotional, and then it reflects on your body and face too. And the signs that your face gives or your body gives is neck pain, is back pain. What else shows as signs?
Well, you get stiff shoulders, you know, because the body tells you first what's going on, and then, you know, the brain start working. So, or maybe shallow breathing, you know, you're not breathing correctly. And really, I didn't know about breathing until recently. And when I discovered the depth of breathing and to breathe, you know, God gave us all this abundance of the air, and yet we breathe just little. No, fill your stomach with air like a baby, you know, and that, you know, give the blood oxygen and make you, you know, just focusing on the thoughts. Focusing on your breath, because it's a gift from God, and we do it automatically, so we take it for granted. Unless we're having some nose congestion or something, we start putting some medicine just to get our breathing back. But when you breathe deeply and you focus deliberate breathing, your mind kind of settle down, or has less thinking, or sometimes, you know, you get moment without any thought, which is really blissful moment.
Definitely, as you mentioned, Hamza, breathing really comes into effect in your mental issues that are happening around you. For example, for me, I had an issue with my wisdom teeth, and I went to explore this with a dentist, and he told me that my wisdom tooth was blocking my sinus. And therefore, when therefore when I removed it, I really noticed the difference in breathing, and I really liked it.
Yeah, and we take it for granted, right? Unless something happens, then we kind of pay attention to it. But we should pay attention all the time.
Definitely, definitely. Dear viewers, if you have any issues that are happening with you in your body or your heart or emotions or thinking, Hamza Taqi is here to solve everything that we have today.
I don't know if I have the magic.
Definitely. So, Hamza, we live in a really noisy world today. How can one take himself out of this noise and just meditate if he has like only 5 minutes in his work time, for example?
During work, you can always have breaks. You know, you just, especially if you have your own office, you just close the door and you know, you just spend 5 minutes by yourself, just, you know, focusing internally. You know, it's like rewiring yourself for the rest of the day. But the best way to do it is early in the morning, because early in the morning your brain is fresh, everything is fresh, all your organs have worked and prepared themselves, provided you sleep early, you know, cleanse themselves and detoxify themselves, so they are ready for the new day. So if you spend, like, you know, even in the bed or near the bed, before even you go to the bathroom, just spend 5 minutes just deliberate breathing and focusing on your internal and asking yourself, what's the most important things for me today to accomplish? And that sets the tone for your day and make you more focused. When you go to the bathroom, you know, you look at yourself in the mirror, don't get scared, you know, because of your hair, or you just, you know, give yourself a nice smile or laugh at yourself, you know, and that will give you some sort of you know, motivation. I don't know, even the chemicals in the brain changes. So you feel, you know, ready for the entire day. And no matter what the day brings you, you know, because we don't live in a perfect world. There's always, like you said, noise, you know, some people that triggers us. How do we, you know, well-being help us to respond rather than to pause before we react, to pause and think and say, what is this is teaching me? What's the lesson behind this, you know, challenge or behind these difficulties? And there is always something there, really, to learn from.
All right. What about that, dear viewers? Hamza Taqi is giving us advice to discover yourself, really. And as Hamza said, you have to look at the mirror, count your blessings that you have, and look at the goals that you have to do for the day to achieve them. And after you achieve them, I'm sure you're going to have something really good that's happening in your heart and also in your mind. Therefore, Hamza, more about the stress and anxiety. When somebody is under stress, does this trigger something in the brain? And how do somebody overcomes that?
Yes, see, stress is a feeling, and it comes again from the thoughts, thinking about what will happen, thinking about the uncertainty, the ambiguity in life, or you know, stressing for students, you know, they're stressing for the exams, and for work you're stressed because if your manager is really, you know, tough, or you know, dictator, you're stressed maybe at home when you have, you know, your spouse is really always, you know, on the edge and frustrated and so on. So we have stress all over, and the best thing is that you isolate it and name it as a feeling rather than saying I am stressed. When you say I'm stressed, because see, again, what we say, it affects us as well.
Yes.
So we need to really you know, select nice words to talk for our internal dialogue, because this helps a lot, you know.
Yes.
So when you separate it and say this is I'm feeling stressed, I'm not stressed, I'm feeling stressed, and it's okay, because stress is something good actually. What's bad about stress if it's repeated and we reach that anxiety stage, when it's all the time you're stressed and all the time you get cortisol, your immune system goes down, and or your immunity goes down, and then you get illnesses and diseases and all type of things. So it's better to understand that stress, the way you see it, is something important is happening, so you better be prepared for it. But don't, you know, overthink it and just put it in your mind and repeat it. It's very dangerous, health-wise and mental-wise as well.
Yes, it is very dangerous, dear viewers. Hamza Taqi exploring all kinds of stress here with us and how to overcome this. As you mentioned, Hamza Taqi, stress sometimes for a human is a kind of a test.
Yes.
And when we are put in a test, therefore we know how to test ourselves, and we can see the outcome that happens after that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's like, you know, it's preparing us maybe for something bigger to happen. Every challenge, every obstacle is the way you look at it. Yeah. So if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at changes. And basically, you know, how we see things, change it.
Yes.
Really.
Definitely.
Because it's all mental game.
I think, Hamza, any challenge that comes, it's something fruitful.
Yes.
And it's tasty. It makes life have a flavor.
Absolutely. Imagine if we're all comfortable, and look at what comfort did for us. I mean, you know, before we didn't have chair, we used to sit on the floor. Yes. And sitting on the floor, every time you get up, you're doing a squat. That's exercise. And now we're because of the comfort, we become weaker. Yes. Look at the, you know, our ancestors when they were, or our, even, you know, our grandfathers, how they used to work, and you know, they're really strong, health-wise, mental-wise, everything, because of the challenge that they were facing back then. We have a fewer challenge, and most of our challenges now is mental. It's how we think about things, or how we perceive things. And when we change our perception to things, these things change and doesn't affect us. And sometimes we worry about stuff and they never happen. You know, we just occupied our mind. We, you know, internally felt bad, and healthier went down, and energy-wise, and then nothing happened. So, you know, leave it to God.
All right. Yeah. Well, dear viewers, now we shall take a quick report, and we will be back with Hamza Taqi to explore more about the mind, brain, and our beautiful hearts. So stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and we are still joined here this evening by Hamza Taqi, a master performance in consulting. Good evening to you, Hamza, and welcome back.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. And now, Hamza, more about the brain, mind, and the heart. We shall move to the children's sector and also parenting, because as a parent, you want to give confidence to your child. How can this practical methods, or can you explain more about this method?
See, we learned that the first 7 years of the child is very critical, and the child doesn't have that conscious brain, so it takes everything from the environment, the surrounding, and the safe environment is at home and with the parents, and we need to be very careful, because when we get the first child as parents, we're considered to be in the kindergarten parenting, you know. Oh, yeah. We don't know. We never, you know, we learned from maybe our parents some tricks and stuff, but maybe they are not really, you know, good for us in these days. So the idea is to be really careful of how you talk to your child. To be really careful how to talk to your spouse in front of the child, because these are all energy, and the child takes them like a recording machine. So when we, like, for example, sometimes you have disagreement with your spouse, and this is natural. It's normal. It has to happen. But when the child is there, try to discuss it where, you know, by yourself in your own room, maybe, without getting the child involved in that, because scientists have found out that the child equate that for, he's responsible for that disagreement, and blames themselves, and that has you know, bad consequences when they grow up, because, you know, they built by 7 they built the consciousness. Yes. So everything that learn goes in the subconscious, and, you know, 95% of what we do now is programmed in the subconscious. So sometimes we have bad programming, maybe from childhood. Maybe our parents told us back then to, you know, for our protection, and it was helpful back then. But now it's maybe when we are adult, it's not helpful enough, but still we have it in us, and it dictates how we behave with people.
Yes, definitely. If parents are having a conflict, as you said, it should be a healthy conflict in front of the children.
Yes, yes. Not to be, you know, raise their voice and stuff like. I'm telling myself, I'm victim of that.
All right, because as you said, children carry on these emotions until they grow up and start thinking that they are the reason behind this.
Exactly.
But I'm sure everything that happens in life is a lesson to yourself.
Again, how they look at it. Some people, they like to be victims. This is their role, I think, in life. They want to be victims. They want to say, oh, my parents. But you are an adult now. You have to fix yourself. You know, you're responsible.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Therefore, Hamza, we'll go on to our hearts again and our minds. Yes. How can we bring these two together and align them?
The heart and the mind, or you mean the heart and the brain?
The heart and the brain.
And the brain, okay. Yes. The heart, again, is they're like, you know, looping in between them, and whatever you think of goes to the heart first, and switches some sort of an emotion. Okay. Our thoughts switches an emotion. That emotions gives signals to the brain. that with that emotion, and the brain has to you know, give you the medicine, supposedly, because the brain is responsible for our life. So it gives us the medicine by means of hormones, chemicals and stuff, to overcome that emotion, or that you know, idea that came, or thoughts that came through that emotion. So to align our hearts with our emotion is to look at our value, to live our true essence, to think of what is it, why are we here? You know, we were chosen by God to be on this planet Earth. There must be a purpose for us. What's that purpose? And genuinely, you know, identify your values, at least 3 values to live by, and to understand why you're here, your purpose. So living life with meanings, that will align the heart with the brain, and you would be more, you know, reaching the, maybe if we talk about Abraham Maslow hierarchy, is the top, the summit, which is the self-actualization. Right. Many people have reached it, like peace be upon him, Dr. Abdurrahman Smith, when he dedicated his life to, you know, for charity and for, you know, the well-being of others. Okay. Yeah.
And you mentioned something about the brain functioning in full.
Yeah.
As I have read that the brain is 60% fat,
yes,
and 40% muscle.
Yeah.
So also we are feeding it spiritually, as you said, with
yes.
God Almighty's
yes.
Quran and everything kind
Absolutely.
of spiritually. But what about the foods that we can feed the brain to make it enhanced?
Well, anything that is packaged, if you can, stay away.
All right.
Anything that's packaged. So, you know, eating raw greens, you know, and now, you know, there are many documentaries that are talking about how they deal with the poultry, with the you know, meat industry. It's very corrupted, and it's very, you know, the treatment of the animal itself. It's they're putting them on top of each other. They, you know, there are diseases and stuff. So, you know, it's better to look for a very well reputed, especially local, you know, you know, somebody who has, you know,
halal products.
Yes, halal products that are, you know, living in Kuwait, for example, and they you know, make them. Processed meat, you know, those it's bad for you. You know, just go for something that's healthy and organic as much as you can.
All right.
Yeah.
I think, Hamza, everybody has his preference in food,
yes.
but it comes down to when you cook it. For example, if you taste something from your mother, I'm sure she's cooking it with love. Therefore, the food is so great.
Yeah. And this is beautiful because the energy goes in there, you know.
Yes.
Anything, even the water, you know, it takes whatever we talk about. If we are, like, for example, if you have a fight and there is a glass of water, don't drink from it. You know, bring the water from somewhere else, you know, because it already took the energy. That's why even in our religion we say, "My magri." You know, they recite Quran on it, and really it changes the water.
Yes, and I'm sure you have to recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, because Allah Almighty is the one who's going to take care of us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, so Hamza, Taqi, any last words today for our dear viewers watching us here?
Well, I say, you know, life is short, they say, but every day is a new life. You know, treat it that way, and if you live moment to moment to moment in a gratitude, being grateful for the life that you have, then things will be easy for you. So take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your well-being, and rise and shine.
Thank you so much, Hamza Taqi, for your beautiful messages, and thank you also for joining us here on Hala Kuwait today.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure being here.
The pleasure is ours. Well, dear viewers, we hope you enjoyed this interview with our Hamza Taqi, the Master Performance Consultant here on Hala Kuwait, and therefore we shall take a quick break with this report, so stay tuned.